Okay, we're ready to make cinnamon scrolls or cinnamon rolls. Now, we're using a bread maker. That's the only way how I know how to do dough. Mine is liquid ones first before the dry one. So follow the instruction of your bread maker, okay? First is we have 1 cup of warm milk. So I've just warmed this in the microwave. And then we add 2 eggs. This is just doing the dough. And then we have 1/3 cup of melted butter. So I've just put this in the microwave as well, 1/3 cup, or about 90 grams of melted butter. Okay. I'll be putting a photo of what products I've used. So if this is your first time to do it, at least you have an idea of what products to use. Okay. Now we put in now the dry ingredients, which is this is 4.5 cups of bread flour, 1 teaspoon salt. Okay, so I'll use this one. It's 1 teaspoon. I'll just sort of squeeze it in there. 1/2 cup of white sugar. And then the last one is yeast. It says 2.5 teaspoon of bread machine yeast. I normally just use just 1 packet. That goes to the bread maker in a dough cycle. My dough cycle is about 1.5 hours. So I'll see you in 1.5 hours. Okay, while the dough is happening, this is 1 cup of packed brown sugar. So it's not the raw sugar, this is the brown sugar that's a bit sticky, that clumps together. Okay, and then this is 2.5 teaspoons cinnamon. Once the cinnamon gets in between those granules, so you know that you've mixed them well. Now I forgot to tell you, I said I put this in the photo. This is not the one that I've used. I'm using the Hoyt's brand, Hoyts, and it's called Dutch cinnamon. I really like that because the fragrance is different, and it just tastes nice. So if you can't find Hoyt's Dutch cinnamon, this is okay too. Okay, our dough is ready. You can see that in the pan. So just taking it out of the pan. What we do is we just turn this onto the bench, cover it with a towel, and just let it rest for 10 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rest it for 10 minutes and we'll come back. Alright, that's about 10 minutes now. So we'll just lift this up. Okay, now what we do is we roll this into a rectangular shape. So once you've done that, comes the fun part. 1/3 cup butter or 90 grams. It's softened, so what we do is we just sort of just spread it around in the middle. Okay, that's done. And now we get that sugar and cinnamon mixture that we've made earlier, and we just sprinkle it. This is the part where we spin it. Okay. Now what I normally do is I sort of pull it a little bit and just tucking it in a little bit. Just pull a bit and then tuck it in, tuck it in, tuck it in. What I normally have are 2 pans. I have 2 pans. I put the nice ones on this pan and the not so nice ones on this pan, on the other pan. So I have the small one and the big one. I normally put wax paper, and underneath the wax paper I just have aluminum foil. So what I do is I cut off the edge first, about an inch. About an inch. You can do that. But I'm just cutting the ends first because they're the not so nice ones. It's still edible. See, it's just sort of not a good shape. So I'll just put it there. And I'll cut another one again. And it's sort of still not perfect. So what I do is I just pop it in this other tray. So that looks nice now. This one I do it again on the other end. It's a bit thin, so what I'll do is I will put them here on the other side. All right. So the last thing that we'll be doing is we need to cover this. It says to cover it with a towel, a wet towel. I don't normally cover it with a wet towel. I just cover it with a towel. And I put it in the warmest room in the house. We need to rest it for about, how about did it say? So 30 minutes at least, or until it's doubled its size. So the original size is like that until it's sort of a bit bigger like this. Okay? We'll come back. Okay? And then we're ready to put it in the oven. Now while we're waiting for the dough to rise, we'll be doing the icing bit. Okay, so we need 3 ounces of cream cheese, or roughly 90 grams of cream cheese. It's been softened. 1/4 cup butter, softened. 1.5 cups of confectioner's or icing sugar. Now this one is not 1.5 cups. This is just 1 cup, because I feel that 1.5 cups is really too sweet. So this is just 1 cup of icing sugar. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Well, I don't have a measuring spoon, but my 1 teaspoon is 1 cup full. And that always works for me. This is 1/8 teaspoon of salt. It's like a dash of salt. So I just use my hand. I know how much it is. You can measure it, 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So, okay, so we'll bring this to the mixer and we'll just, I'll just whiz it up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So just use a mixer on a medium speed. That took just about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to whiz it, and it just looks like this. I'm not sure if you can see it. So it's a bit smooth. We'll be using that later on to ice the cinnamon scrolls. Okay, this is about probably 30 to 45 minutes, and this is the cinnamon scrolls. It's gone bigger, not as big as I expected it to be, but that's big enough, and it will still become bigger when we start cooking them. So I've preheated the oven to 160 degrees because it's fan forced. If you're not fan forced, if your oven is not fan forced, then 180 degrees centigrade. Okay? Okay, and then you bake it for about 25, what is that one? 25 minutes probably, or until golden brown. So halfway through, check it. If it's browning too quickly, then put a foil on top of it and then put it back in the oven so that it doesn't burn too quickly on the top. Okay, so I'm putting this there now, and I'll come back in 30 minutes. Okay. All right, I've taken this out of the oven now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over so that the syrup or the melted sugar will go on the other side. There. Get a spatula, and then get the cream cheese mixture that we've made, which is that one, and we'll just grab a little bit while this is warm. We just sort of spread it on top there for a bit until it sort of melts. It will melt because it has butter on it. Okay, that's my cinnamon scroll. Hope you enjoy it.